Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Black and white story in a me mind. So we have to analyze it. I will tell you a little something about white history. Say how they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them a telling of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up with it. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, black, black. It's white, white, white. But let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white, but let me tell the story. May I will tell you a little truth about the black history. For the people who can hear and those who can see, will be first to come up with anatomy. To analyze the truth about the way body, will be first to come up with biology. To analyze the lies in the society, will be first to come up with Egyptology. To construct the pyramids that you see, will be first to come up with psychology. To analyze the minds in the vicinity, where the first to come up with musicology. To put the rhythm of your soul and make the rock steady. Correction, my friends, with the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let me tell the story. Black and white story in my mind. Yeah, say we have to analyze it. Black and white story in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. We yeah, we yeah. Black and white story in my mind. Oh yeah, say we have to analyze it. May I go tell you a little something about white history. Say all the time they must throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them and tell enough of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up the sea. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white, but let me tell the story. I will tell you a little truth about the black history. It's for the people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy. To analyze the truth about the way body. We're the first to come up with biology. To analyze the life in our society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology.
To construct the pyramids that you see, we're the first to come up with musicology. To analyze the we're the first to come up with musicology. To put the rhythm on your soul and make it rock steady. Correction, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, it's white, but let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, it's white, But let's retell the story. Black and white story in our mind. What's up, family? Woo! That was me back in the day. So, yeah, I was number 5 on the reggae chart back in the day, family. So this is what I do naturally. Okay. We got a great shoe for you today. So, get ready. We got some beautiful people coming in on the King Simon Presents show. And first, before we bring on our special guest, I got a special guest host I got to bring in. My Aries friend, the superstar herself, a fly Nubian queen, the one, the only Lioness Crown in the building.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I was enjoying the music.
Right?
Keep it going.
You all right?
That.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I know. I'm here. I'm in the mountains of stone of Georgia, man, and I got some Wi-Fi stuff. But we're gonna keep on going and do what we do. Okay, I can hear you on and off. You're cracking a little. You all right?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something different then. Hold on. Let me take you off and then bring you back on. Give me a second, okay? Let me take you off. Let me make sure everything is right, okay? Go off, bring you back on. What I'm going to do is take myself off briefly. Put a picture of Dr. Alicia first before we bring on Dr. Alicia. Hold on, let me put a beautiful picture. Dr. Alicia, take my crazy self off. Put up the picture real quick. Let's go show. Because I'm in the mountains here in Georgia, and the Wi-Fi is crazy. Hold on a second. All right, so let's see here. Hold on a second. You're just trying to jump all the gun. Hold on. I'm going to go on my phone because my phone looks like it's working better. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Look like my phone is working better than my computer. That's funny. But let me hold on. Let me take you off. Let me remove that. Let me take myself off and get ready to come in live from my own and take that off. Hold on 1 second, family. We coming in. Give me some peace. I'm coming in. Let me see what I can do. Let me get that off. All right, good. Let's do this now. Let me make sure that brand is off right. So okay. All right. Okay. Can you hear me, sister? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm on my phone this time. I had to go on my phone. That's just what it is. Because my computer is messing up. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I don't know what's going. Like I said, I'm in Georgia somewhere in this mountains, and it's messing me all up out here. But I do apologize to the great sister that we. For this, as long as can you hear me right now? You hear me?
Yep. Oh no, I lost you.
I'm going to make this happen. Hold on one second. This Wi-Fi area, I don't know what's going on in this area. You can hear me now, right? You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, look, let's keep it moving. How you doing, Lioness Crown? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I was enjoying the free concert in the beginning. I'm really excited to meet with Dr. Alicia Watkins today. I heard somebody was coming out of retirement, though. We might have to talk about that. Might have to be your tour manager.
Hey, I'm down with the manager. I don't have any manager or womanager at this time, so I might need that.
Absolutely.
But before I get, let me just bring on our sister because I don't want to keep her away because I'm trying to keep this computer going and everything going. But You know, this sister here, of course, is now a newlywed. She just got married to a dear brother that I've been watching and admiring over the years, always checking out his commentary all over the world. And I love what he's done on CNN. I've done what he's done on internet, but I know she is an extraordinary empress herself. I want everybody to give a well-deserved round of applause, and let's invite right here Dr. Alicia Watkins in the building. Let's get her on. Let's put her on the screen and let's give her a round of applause. There she is. There she is. There she is. There she is.
Oh, wow, King Simon. This is so great. Can you hear me and see me okay? Okay, excellent. Oh my God, what an intro. I did not know you had such a great voice. You remind me of the old days back in Chicago. I used to hang out at this club called the Wild Hair. It's this reggae club. Huh?
Yes, I remember that. I performed there years ago in the 90s.
That's when I was hanging out back in the 90s. I probably saw you perform. I used to go there every Thursday night. I would go to the Wild Hair, and I had to go to work the next day. But back then I was in my 20s, so I didn't need much sleep. But I would go to the Wild Hair every night. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And what's interesting, I was managed by the Nation of Islam at that time. I was in the Nation at that time.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Well,
I performed for Minister Farrakhan out there, and then a friend of mine named Deli Ranks actually took me over to the Wild Hair to go hang out with him and perform real quick. So yeah, I've been there.
All right. Okay.
Jade is saying hi to you.
Hello, Jade. How you doing? Oh, God, nice to see you. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. And you know what? I got to get a numbers reading from you, King Simon.
Oh wow. I would be honored. I would be honored. You know. When is your birthday actually?
My birthday is 5/28. 1974. Wow. I don't mind talking about how old I am. That makes me a 9, because I did get a numbers reading in Sedona, Arizona, but I really want a melanated person to give me a reading. See how they interpret it. Yeah, and so what they told me was that it was a good thing I was getting married to boys, because Alicia Watkins is a 6, and 6 represents family and harmonious relationships. Exactly. So I was really happy to hear that.
Exactly, that's what that is. Now, and it goes a little bit more deeper. There's so much more to it, you know, but I'm glad you're born on that 28. So you're definitely supposed to be running your own business and doing what you do and doing what you do best. And that is very important with that 28. As long as you're passionate about what you do, you will always make money from your passions. That's what that 28 is.
Okay. Well, that's right on time. It's right on time right now.
Well, you know, first and foremost, let me just make sure we shout out what your websites and stuff. Let me make sure we got everything. Of course, Dr. Alicia Watkins is a relationship coach, licensed therapist, and B1 coach for strong Black families. That's right. You can contact her via IG, and of course, and that's coaching with Alicia, with Dr. Alicia, pardon me, and of course, Alicia at coachingwithdralicia.com. And don't forget, this is the website right here, www.coachingwithdralicia.com. Relationship, family. Y'all need this. I'm telling you, family. And let me just big up our co-host, because our co-host Lioness Crown is our guest co-host. She is a Black anti-racism trainer, educator, and community organizer. Make sure you cash app and spread love. Spread love. That's right. At J Harrell, $ J Harrell, and hit her up at IG at Lioness Crown. Now, I brought our dear Lioness Crown on because I love her energy, and both of us are number one energy. All of us are number one. Actually, you're 28, she's a 28. I'm a number one, born February 1st. So this is a powerful energy here. That's a powerful energy. I like this. So relationship has become, as far as marriage in our community, has become an all-time low, sis. And I know you're a relationship coach and, of course, a therapist. Now, I'm delving right in, sister. What's happening? Why is this happening to our Black family nowadays? please.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've worked with Black people my whole life. I mean, I have had, oh gosh, over 20 years of experience working with Black families, working with Black couples, Black individuals. And I have made it my passion to make sure that Black people get what they deserve, that they get the love that they deserve, that they get the respect that they deserve, that they get it in a way where their emotional needs are met. Because I know that divorce rates are high and the marriage rates are low, but that still doesn't mean that's not what Black people want. I mean, Black people want to be married. They want to be in healthy relationships, and it can happen, and it has happened. I have seen marriages that are about to fall apart. I've seen them turn around very quickly just by having us slow down these conversations where things escalate and go up real fast, and just getting down to the emotional component of things. And it can be helped, definitely.
Right. You know, and you know, because, you know, I've honestly, I've said this before, you know, I've been married 3 times, and then I tell people I've been fired 3 times too. So, you know, but in my process, because I started young, but in my process now, I had to learn empathy, and just still learning. I'm still learning this thing, empathy, because, you know, coming out of a Caribbean family, half Jamaican and half Cuban, you know, some of the machoism of Jamaica is very strong, you know, in my blood from that, and even the Cuban side, and the warrior side of the Maroons and all that is still in from out of Africa, is still strong in my blood. But there is, I find that even the warriors had balance back in the ancient time. You know, warriors had balance. That's why, you know, it's best to study some of the reputable and respectable warriors of that time. So, you know, I realized that relationship can be a very hard journey, but I think if people are willing to put in that work, I know that it can be a very wholesome and respectable journey. What do you say about that, my sister?
Yeah. I mean, I think that what happens, I used to be married to a Caribbean man myself, and and yeah, I mean, well, he part Caribbean, but yeah, I mean, what happens is that it's showing emotions wasn't modeled for you and your family. So you're not necessarily certain how to do that. So what happens is that in relationships, you'll have one partner who's complaining, this person is emotionally unavailable. They're totally cut off. I can't connect with them. And that's what we want nowadays in modern marriages. We want these marriages to be so that they have this intimacy, they have this connection. And so you become emotionally closed off and emotionally unavailable. And it's frustrating for the other parent, for the other partner. It is frustrating sometimes for me as a therapist, but I do have an understanding about how emotions were communicated in the family, because some families go through things that are really, really difficult. Like it could really, really difficult things. And so they becomes uncomfortable. And so what happens is that people sweep it under the rug and they don't want to talk about things. And so no one modeled for you how to dig deep into your own feelings. And if you don't know how you feel, you can never, ever understand how someone else feels. So there is no empathy there.
Right. Go ahead, Lioness Crown, please share.
Yes, I too have been married to a Caribbean man, but that's a different story, Dr. Alicia. But I got married when I was 28. And while I know that my parents, to a large degree, and my maternal grandparents, and my paternal grandparents modeled what marriage and family structure looked like, I don't think that I was prepared for marriage. And so, you know, in terms of like all that it would entail, I don't know if it's like having a baby, like you just have to jump in and figure it out. But I do know that, like, according to experts such as yourself, there are things that we can do to prepare ourselves for marriage. And what would you say that those things are?
You definitely need to be prepared for marriage. And it's really surprising how many people just get married and then they try to figure all that stuff out after they get married. So you didn't have these conversations first. You know, what are your expectations? What are your expectations for family? Do you want a family? You know, all of these things get sorted out. And that's why the first 5 years of marriage is really, really difficult. If you talk about all of these things beforehand, you'll actually figure out if this person is really the person you should marry, because love is not enough. You know, is this somebody that you can actually build with? Is this person trustworthy? Hopefully they're trustworthy, because you wouldn't be in a relationship with them in the first place if they weren't. But is this someone, you know, you can fall in love and be in lust, but is this someone that you can actually build with, that you can have a family with? So talking about expectations, talking about your finances, of course, talking about how you're going to manage the household, everyday life, like who's washing the dishes today? Somebody has to do it. And so these things can be very frustrating if you don't hash all of that out, because it's implied, but you need to make this implicit stuff very explicit and have very direct conversations. And sometimes, and I have seen sometimes couples will come together and say, you know what, maybe we should not get married. You are not the person I need to build my life. Because that doesn't mean that person should be your life partner. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have to decide that. Wait, King Simon, did you say you were married 3 times?
3 times. Yes, I was married.
I want to hear more from both of you all, but I really want to hear from you. What happened?
You know, the first time I went into marriage was through Islam. I was in a Muslim community, and that was in the Ansarullah community back in the day. So I was young, around 18, the young age, because, you know, Muslims want you to get married. That's one thing, and keep you in that marriage. And, you know, sometimes, and when you're living in a community, when you're living in a communal setting, it's not the same way as just living in an apartment. Anybody knows about Imam Isa, or who they call Dr. York today, I was living in that community years ago on Bushwick Avenue in Brooklyn. And then from there, I went to the Nation of Islam. Me and that wife decided to stay there, and me and her still good friend, but she's still there and doing her thing, whatever she's doing. And then when I went into the Nation of Islam, I got remarried again to another sister, again into Islam, and doing that same thing. But, you know, I'm one of those males that I guess I can't be under a leader too long, because I'm my own leader. I know that. And I don't think I could shine that well. And then when I did leave those different communities, that's when I started to shine. That's when I went on the radio. I became a radio jock on a major radio station, started really doing what I love to do, because when you're under religion, sometimes it suppresses that. So when you're under those religious dogmas and trying to make your way, it's hard to flourish, I say, back in those days. Maybe it's better now, but back in those days, in the 80s, going into the 90s, and it was something else. I seen a lot of hate going my way, and I had to leave that alone. Because one thing about me, Dr. Alicia, I don't need anybody to dictate to me and not let me grow, because I know I'm an artist. I know I was a singer. I knew I was a radio person. I knew that I had a certain amount of energy that a lot of people in a religious organization can't hold down. So I guess I had to leave. And if I didn't stay with the women, I would have to move on and do what I have to do. But it was a lot. It was sad. It was a lot. I went through a lot with those relationships. And then the third one was a Sunni Muslim. I did another Islamic Don't laugh. I did another Islamic wedding. And obviously it ain't work again, because this particular Sunni is a little bit more stricter, and they didn't believe in the numerology and the astrology of the things. Although we discussed this, she met me in that, but and I told the Imam back in the day when we got married, I said, look, I love her enough to let her go. And because she kept on doing the counseling and going through the whole counseling, and it just didn't work. But we're still friends today, and I'm friends with all of them up to this day. So I'm cool with that. And I'm good.
But I appreciate you sharing that, because that's it's a hard decision to let it go. It really is. I mean, even when you need to move on and you gotta fly, you still are like, am I making the right choice? And you still doubt yourself. Doubt yourself. You're like, I don't know what am I doing? Can we really work on this, or should we just end it? It's so hard to do.
And I went for consultation 4 times. 4 times to save it, because I did in Sunni Islam, you got to go through the wali, which is the father figure, which is the imam, and do the whole process, the courtship and all that stuff. So you have to go through it. You know what I'm saying? So I went through it, and I really, really cared about the sister. But again, if both of us are not evenly yoked, and you don't respect what I'm doing, and I respect what you do, because I'm a person that I can become a chameleon. I can become what you want me to become, but respect what I'm doing. Respect.
I love that. That tells me that you are flexible and you're really good at compromise. You make the perfect husband. I don't even understand what's going on.
It's not entirely their fault. Of course, it's my fault because again, I'm coming from that Caribbean background that's very strong still, and I'm not going to be punked out by anybody. But like I said, I had to learn empathy. I had to learn how to empathize with other people. I put my feet in other people's shoes, not literally in their shoes, but put my feet in other people's shoes.
So yes, I mean, once you learn this empathy, did it feel like you were able to get along better with people? Did you feel like did things change for you? Because that empathy is key, very much.
Yeah, it's a growing process because we're healing and growing. Because my sister said it to me, and she's a life coach, and she used to be on a major radio station in New York called Kiss FM. And she said it to me one time in the house because she's been going through therapy and all that. And I never really went through therapy. All my elders was my therapists, like Phil Valentine and Ashwa Kwesi. Those were my therapists. Those were the people that I consulted. But she said I had abandonment issues. And I said, I argued her down, and then I'm the type of person that I have to hear it, then I'll go downstairs and process it, or go away and process it, go punch on a bag, or go train and work out, and I'm processing it. And maybe I do because my mother did say I got the blunt of what my father and her was going through, and they had to go to work at night and leave me with babysitters. So every time they left, I'm here wondering why they leaving me. All the time. So I know, yes, then I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I do have abandonment. I do. And that was a very hard nut to crack, to figure that my own sister, who was a life coach today, but still going through her therapy. But, she said it, and I was arguing with her because I said, you don't know what you're talking. You're my babysitter. What you talking about? And then sure enough, I had to process it different because women and men think diametrically different. So we have to process certain things a little different than each other. And I had to realize that. Dr. Africa helped me with that too. The late, great Dr. Africa.
Yes, Dr. Africa. Yeah, those abandonment issues, now that could be related to getting married 3 times. Because you abandoned, in some sense, you would say that you kind of abandoned them first. You kind of said, this isn't working out the way I want. Somehow your needs weren't getting met. And then instead of having those conversations about having your needs get met, you just said, you know what, forget it. I'm out of here. I'm gone. And so that can protect, because it makes perfect sense, because if you've been abandoned, you don't want to make yourself vulnerable like that again. You want to protect yourself. And in protecting yourself is saying, you know what, I'm going to leave this situation because I don't want this person to reject me. No one likes being rejected. Nobody likes feeling they're less than. And when you make yourself vulnerable and you ask for what you need, that is so difficult for people, especially when you've had a history of people dismissing you and thinking that you aren't worthy, so that might be your sister's spot on. I don't know if she's a life coach, but bravo to her, because that could be problematic. King Simon.
But I know the cycle. It was a cycle because my mother was abandoned by her mother. My uncle father was a single parent. Had to use his sisters to raise my mother and her sisters, and my father was abandoned by his father. So the cycle continues, and if we don't break the cycle, it continues, and we learn from those different things, because, we come here from Jamaica and those places to work hard and make do and do all that kind of stuff. So they was working hard, trying to make do. Sometimes they'll send me away, send my sister away, so they can work hard and do what they got to do. Send me to Jamaica, or send me to Canada, just so they could work hard. But again, it wasn't enough because it already, the death blow was already applied from 0 to 7. It's all that stuff was already built up, and I had to analyze it for myself. I had to do that.
Yeah, and it wasn't as if your parents did not love you. No. They did what they had to do. They were distracted. They were stressed. They couldn't respond to you the way they would have wanted to have responded to you if things had been different. So it's not like a diss on your parents, because we know parents do the best that they can do, but it also left you feeling alone. And, that can cause some stress for you as well. And this type of neglect, so to speak, abandonment, and someone should have been available for you emotionally. And Yeah, and who do you talk to when you're upset? Who's the one person you can go to who's your safe person? Oh, I'm upset. I know I can go and talk to this one person. Is it a friend? Well, a friend necessarily isn't the right person. Not even a sibling, I don't think is important. I think you need a parent or someone, a parent that you can go to talk to if you're alone. So you are left alone with your emotions. And that could be traumatic too, because you know, and it gets, and what trauma does in that way, it does get locked into the body and it gets locked into the brain. And that's why sometimes people have psychological issues and physical health issues, and all of that is related. So it's good that, I mean, but it's never too late to work some of those things out.
Yes, and that's, and you know, people that are just tuning in, we are speaking to Dr. Alicia Watkins, the great Dr. Alicia Watkins. Let's give her a round of applause. Of course. She's doing it. She's doing it. She's doing therapy on me. Being one coach for strong Black families. She's a licensed therapist, and I need it. Look, I just went through hypnotherapy. I want y'all people to support her. If you got relationship issues or you want to do premarital stuff, this sister can help you. You can go coaching with dralicia.com. She got, even on her link tree, you got to hit her up on her link tree, which is, you can find that through her IG. You can go on her IG at Coaching with Dr. Alicia, and her email. Hit her up on email. Say, yo, you seen her on King Simon's show. I'm telling you, because there's, you know, what I realized over the years, sister, and I wrote a book called Numerovation for Mental Stability. And 3 times I thought about taking my life, and that was the real powerful thing that made me, that every time I thought, there was some type of spiritual intervention. Every time I did it, so I knew I was meant to be here, and if I had to move on and do what I had to do, I survived. The first time was at 8 years old, because I didn't feel I was loved again. Didn't feel I was loved. You know, in Jamaica, if anybody know anything about Jamaica and their classism, if you're darker and this and you're lighter than this, and it was crazy. And, you know, you got friends who talk about my skin complexion, then your family would talk about your skin complexion, then who want me? So that's how I used to, and I almost took my life then, but the ancestors in that bathroom in that moment rushed to my brain and said, what are you doing? Dr. Alicia, when I say they said, what are you doing? At 8 years old, what are you doing? You're going to miss your grandmother. You're going to miss your mother. You're going to miss your father. Don't do this. And I ran out the bathroom and cried and ran into my room. And that took me to another level. And then it happened again in my marriage. And then Elijah Muhammad came to my head and said, make sure you think 5 times before you do something. So I put down the weapon and I left and ran and walked the whole Bronx. The last time was in a nightclub. I was about to do it real big, put the noose around my neck, and I'm gone. Somebody ran up the stairs, Dr. Alicia and Lioness Crown, and said, where's King Simon? This beautiful lady came up. She came to say she was renting the club. She said, where's King Simon at? I said, this is King Simon. I had one of those orange extension cords ready. Right near the DJ booth. I was going to do it big. They would have said radio personality did this. He took this. They would have said all of that in the news, because I was a big radio personality at that time in New York. And this person ran up the stairs and said, I want to rent the club, but I just heard about this brother named Simon Templar. And they was calling me, and I said, yeah, I'm Simon Templar. I said, yo, they're talking about your radio, how you're a nice guy and you're beautiful this and a beautiful that. And this sister don't know what changed me, but when she left, she never rented the club ever again. She never came back, but that stopped me. And that was the last time I ever thought about it again. That was the last time, because every time I thought about it, 3 times is a charm, right? Or 4 times, but 3 times was a charm for me. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm not meant to do that to myself. You know, and that was the catalyst in that nightclub. And that's when I started changing, getting away from the nightclub life and all the demonic energy that's in there, as far as the music and all the craziness that was going on back in those days. So yeah, that was it. That was it. For me.
God, I mean, that is, again, you have shared. I mean, I don't even think you realize how many people who see this, did you help them? You probably served in that way, because to make that sort of choice to even end your life in the first place, you've got to be going through a lot of pain.
Yeah, definitely. It's
had
pain.
to have been very painful for you.
I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. I remember.
Yeah, yeah. It's and there's you don't see any other way out.
Yeah, and most Black men are suffering like that. And we don't know. They don't know. No, and we're afraid to cry because we was taught not to cry. And I remember interviewing Michael Basin before he became a top rated. I was on a radio show doing my thing, and I was on radio before Michael Basin. And I interviewed Michael Basin, and he was at that time he wrote "Men Cry in the Dark," that book right there. And that is the truth. Men will go in the shower and cry. Men will cry while they're in their pillows. Men will cry in the dark where women might not see. And in an old metaphysic world, the metaphysic says, if a woman can get the tears of a man, it's a magical tool of healing also. It's in the physics world. I'm just showing you that I heard this from a brother named Brother Azariah back in the day, back in the 90s. So it's a real deal. That's because men was taught not to cry. Not to cry, we were taught. So when you get their tears, that's a beautiful thing, but it's also a very sensitive and magical thing when you get those tears.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that's just beautiful. That's all I can say. It really is just beautiful, because when you go through something that's traumatic like that, the trauma needs to be seen, the trauma needs to be heard, the trauma needs to be validated, and you need to be felt that, okay, because of all of that, you are still worthy.
Right. And I don't want pity, I'm not one of those pity guys. I'm really strong. I will cry through it, keep it moving, and go do 100 push-ups and go punch on some bags and get it all out of my system. But as long as I'm not hitting anybody and none of that crazy, I feel good. Because I wasn't never one of those people that was an abuser. I learned martial arts. I trained martial arts since '85 from different people. So I always learned how to protect myself. And I always tell people, look, let me just stay at peace, man. Get out, leave me alone. I like to stay at peace. And the only time I went to jail was fighting for my mother, 7 police officers. And survived. So go figure. And survived.
Woo! You a powerful brother, King Simon. Good grief. Yes.
It's just, this is healing. Yes, talking to both of your sisters, and of course, a doctor like you. I might have to do a session with you, Doc. So
yes, hit me up.
Yes.
But please, Lioness Crown. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do your thing.
So, as a follow-up to that, oftentimes we think about getting married and preparing. We think about, some couples do marital counseling or premarital counseling together. Dr. Alicia, do you recommend that individual counseling takes place before folks come together, or do marital counseling, or should those things be happening in tandem?
Well, it all depends. I think before you get married, you need to kind of be honest with your partner. If there's any secrets, if you have secrets, you'd be surprised how many secret addictions people have and secret money issues. They don't want to tell about their debt, and they want to have these secrets, and they're struggling with some mental health. Here's the thing: if you're struggling with addiction, if you're struggling with mental health issues, and you want to get married or you want to have a family, you should deal with those first before you make that commitment to someone, because you owe it to not only yourself, but to the people who are going to be around you. There's children going to be involved. There's other family members involved. You got another partner right there with you. So you owe it to them to fix yourself as much as possible and to be honest about that. A really good supportive partner will help you through that process. But if you're not willing to fix any of your stuff, you probably should stay by yourself. Stay alone. Don't marry anybody, because you just owe it to them to make sure that you're showing up as your best self. It's just not fair. Mm-hmm.
For me, I got married when I was 28. I'm a bit of an overachiever, especially back then. And for me, it was a lot of pressure from like my grandparents and maybe some expectations that I thought that folks were holding me to. It was probably just like my own stuff. And so I was like, okay, yeah, it was just like one of those things on a checklist. It's like, okay, college, check. This job, check. Graduate degree, check. Okay, now you got to get married, and then they'll do all of this stuff. And I was just like, well, I think finding purpose and kind of like being in the moment, and sort of, that's what I've been leaning into a lot lately, as opposed to having to, live life according to some trajectory that was just made up, or like these societal constructs. Do you find that a lot of folks fall into that, like, I gotta hurry up and get married now, or it's just something to do, like to sort of check off in order to be like a
grown up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, people, it's terrible. It's better to just wait. Of course, in hindsight, don't you just like, I should have just waited. Why did I have to? But when you're 28, people are putting pressure on you. Okay, so you're not getting any younger, and they give you this myth. I think is a myth that there's not available people out there. There's not enough men out there. So you have someone that's willing and able, you better go after that one because you know you're not going to. So fear of not finding an eligible person in the dating pool, which is a lie, by the way. That is,
or you have to share a man with because women outnumber women in like the whole ratio thing. You've heard that before, right, Dr. Alicia?
I've heard that before. I don't believe in buying into that. I think that because as soon as you start getting into that negative thinking, your subconscious mind is only going to carry it. It's only going to bring it for you. So, I mean, you have to say there's an abundance. There's plenty of people out there for me. And it's so funny because that myth is what kept me in my first marriage way longer than I should have been. Because I thought, oh my goodness, this is not working, but I'm not going to find anybody. And it was that stigma that I did not want. It was that stigma that I didn't want again for myself. You can't be a mom of 3 children by myself. Who's going to want me then? And then I said, you know what? I don't even really care. I don't really care. I have to do this for myself because I was in total distress. And I just knew that I could not continue on the way this works because for a whole lot of reasons, it just had to go away. So that's what happened. And I'm here to tell you, do not let that keep you in a situation that you know is not good for you. And so what? You're 28. You can still have children when you're 38. If your time is not running out.
Exactly. I'm 37 now. So it was really interesting, like how much I've grown since then too. But Dr. Alicia, you took me right into my next question. I wrote my question. I told you overachiever, right? It was like, how do we use how do we use the power of our subconscious mind in order to manifest the soulmate, twin flame, life partner of our dreams? I know you do a lot of work on the subconscious mind. So what types of things do Black folks need to be telling ourselves in order to create these possibilities in life?
Well, I don't really work with people on the subconscious mind. I study the subconscious mind just for me.
Got it. Okay.
I can only save myself. Anybody who wants to know, I can give you some books to read and you figure it out for yourself. But I think the worst you could do in terms of subconscious mind is let negative thinking into your head. Let negativity, and there's so much. I gotta tell you, there's so much negativity being poured into the Black community right now. I can barely stay on social media half the time. And I really don't like the fact that there are so-called relationship gurus who capitalize off of the pain and hurt of Black people. They have absolutely no credentials. They have absolutely no training. They have absolutely no educational background. Yet they're intelligent, so they're not stupid, and they have the right words to say, but it is damaging and it is hurtful and it is nothing but negativity. And so what I do as a therapist, in terms of subconscious mind, is that when I work with people, I see them as having total positive regard for people. Like I look at them and I speak nothing but positivity in them, and I give them hope, and I connect with them on a personal level. Okay. And I mirror to them positivity, something positive about themselves, instead of mirroring to them the negativity, which is never going to save anybody. That does not save. Yeah, it'll get you a lot of views on YouTube, but it's not going to save anyone. And so you need to see the best in people. You need to have positive regard for others and create an alliance. And I think you need to have this empathetic response so that you can create safety. You can slow things down and move into the emotional part of that and get into that because somebody told you that. And it's funny because I use cognitive behavioral therapy. I love it because the cognition is all like, who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you those negative things? And I get into it. Who told you that? And they're like, I don't know. the negative thought that popped into your head, whose voice was that? Was that your mom's voice telling you that? Well, your mother is lying to you because she still lives in your head. And so you need to have a conversation with her in your head. You need to say, Mom, get out of my head, because all this stuff is not negative. So the cognitive behavioral stuff really helps with the subconscious mind in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, I've read some books. I have a little arsenal I'm building up around mental health books and attachment theory stuff, and yeah.
Yes, those that are just tuning in, we have Dr. Alicia in the building, relationship coach, licensed therapist, B1 coach for strong Black family. Make sure you contact her via IG at Coaching with Dr. Alicia, or email her at alicia@coachingwithdralicia.com. Remember, her website is www.coachingwithdralicia.com. Also, we got our guest host with us, our guest co-host in the building, Black anti-racism trainer, educator, and community organizer. Remember, share love and spread love by her Cash App. That's that $ J Harrell in the building. And of course, her IG is at Lioness Crown. And also, you can see her on Fly Nubian Queen doing the fly things for Nubian Queens out there and Nubian brothers. So you know what it is in Kings. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Put it in the air. Look at that cup. Look at that cup.
I need to get one of those cups.
shopfnq.com, shopfnq.com. You can get your mugs. Everybody,
you know what it is. Dr. Alicia, in this short time that we have, you definitely touched a lot in my heart, and just having both of you, the energy there, the Gemini and the Aries energy and the Aquarian energy all in one here. This is a good energy. We're working it out. What I've come to understand and watch, even when I do consultation for numerology, and I try to stay away from the couples reading or couples consultation, because some of them are not serious. Some of them are not serious. Some of them are coming to me just to find out which one of the guys or which one of the girls they want to choose is a good number for them. That's what they're doing. So I had to stop that, put it on halt, and give it to my teacher, Lloyd Strayhorn, one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, to break it down, because that's what's important. And what I find in many relationships, a lot of us are not willing to put in that work. What do you say about that? A lot of us don't want to put in this work.
Yeah, I mean, they need to, and it's not that much work. I mean, here's the thing: your relationship issues, your marriage issues, are never going to go away just with the passing of time. Time is not going to make it better. You really have to make some steps. And that's a key in terms of, you're on the fence, whether you want to continue with this person that you're having issues with, or if you kind of want to just let it go. I mean, that's the key. It's like saying to that person, time is of an issue, of an essence, and we have got to make measurable steps to solve some of our issues by doing things. It's going to take work. It's going to take action. It's going to take you looking at yourself and doing things differently, coming to see people like me. It doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody, but you have to have measurable steps, or, sometimes it's not going anywhere. So it's never, ever, usually, I've never seen anything get better just by not addressing it and just letting time will heal. Well, it will, but it's not going to repair your relationship. So yeah, you do need to make some changes, because my question to people is that if you do nothing and you stay at the status quo, then what? How do you see your future? And most people say, I can't continue like this. Okay, so what are you going to do? You cannot stay on the fence, because sitting on the fence is painful. That hurts. You've got to get off that fence, or you're going to injure yourself.
It really does. Now, what do you say about the people that are doing the cultural mixing and the whole marrying out of their race and all of that? And, because I know you B1 now. We B1s now. So now, what do you say about that? What's going on out there?
I don't focus on that so much. I mean, I do have, believe it or not, I have white clients that love me. First of all, I have white clients who are Trump supporters, who are staunch Republicans, and they show up, they pay their money, they pay on time, and they're like, we don't care. My child needs help, come see her. So it's a farce to think to think that that divide is there, but they don't. Like, they're probably some of my best people, loyal people that really do a lot of they see the value in it. So I don't really get into that so much. I know how I feel personally. I mean, it's just my background. Like, I was born in Tuskegee, Alabama, at John Andrews Hospital. Okay, and the what is it? Ground zero of the Tuskegee experiment. I mean, that's the blackest city in the world, I think. And then I was raised in Gary, Indiana. That's another blackest city in the world. So, and then I spent my summers in Tuskegee, and then I spent the rest of my time in Gary. So, like, blackness is all I know. Like, it would be awkward for me to be with anybody else. Like, I can't vibe with all that. It's just don't work for me, and I need something totally different from that. But to each its own. I'm not going to make a judgment on that, but I know myself enough to know I couldn't mess with anyone else. But I'm not gonna say that it can't work. I mean, even if your numerology doesn't gel together, there's some things you can do. So one thing, what the numerologist that I talked to in Sedona, she told someone I knew, she said, you know what, your middle initial, you need to change your middle initial. And so put your middle initial when you sign your name, and that'll change your whole energy. So it's not like you're determined by it. There's some things you can do to to get on a better vibe. Even if your numbers don't sync up with your first and last name, put your middle initial in there, make up a middle initial. Who cares? Facebook doesn't check your stuff. You just change it on Facebook. So adjusting, and that's key.
Did you find that when you're doing the coaching for other races and other cultures, do you find they have similar problems as our people, as black folks too?
Man, let me tell you something. Yeah, ignorance has no color.
Yeah, get that around.
I love it.
Let me tell you, there's some things that has happened with some of my white families. It will it's something that is not even fathomable among black people. Like so it is not subscribed to us. It's all over everywhere. And I work with Hispanic families too. It is universal. So the problems are universal. And I think that's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop thinking that we're worse off psychologically than other groups. I mean, based on what I've seen on my caseload, no. In a lot of ways, there are strengths in African-American communities that I don't see in other families. So there's some things that I'm just like, I would never see that in my black family. That's just, specific to this cultural group. So in a way, our culture is not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah. And I think there's this push, and I think that there's this push for a lot of black fathers are killing it. They're doing an awesome job out there. And we all can learn. And I think that because I think in the media, black men get such a, so they're so stigmatized in the media that I think they're just reacting to a lot of that. And I'm just like, look, this is not, you're fine. So a lot of great black fathers and black husbands out there that they don't get their shine like they should. So we should give a round of applause for the black men out there. Can you do applause?
Yes.
Doing it.
I mean, I'm very proud of my sons. I have 10 grandchildren now, and having 10 grandchildren is something else. And my sons, they are very hands-on. The majority of them. It's only 4 of them that have made this 10, and they're very try to keep in contact. Although one is in the military, one is doing this, one is doing that. Unlike their father, who was in the music business, and sometimes I'm in and out, and they all knew me from this angle and all this angle. I'm glad that they kept on keeping the connection with their children, and I keep the connection with them, and they keep me connected to the grandchildren, and that's what I like. Because one thing I realize is that with my father, who's still alive, I know he would want to be around his great grand, but they don't really know him, and because it was that type of thing that was going on. And, I'm trying to get them into, connected with him, but it's hard because they don't know him. And once my father is more, the mother more, the grandmother's always known the most, a lot, so they know the grandmother a little bit more than the father. And my father's still alive doing his thing, and I love him dearly. Although we had to mend some ties from what has happened, and I always make it a point to say to all my children, I love you, because that sometimes that was a hard thing for Jamaican men and women to say. And I realized they'll show you better than they'll say it to you. They'll show you, yes, I put clothing on your back, me put food on your table, and me put a roof over your head. That's how they would say it. But that's really the deal. And I had to learn to say it constantly to my own children, either in text or, contact them and say I love you. And, that's what was important, that I keep on establishing and then showing, my concern and connection with them. So it's a rough road. This whole fatherhood and marriage and relationship. Everything is relationship. Everything you deal with is relationship. Now, how is it that are you also coaching parents with children? Are you doing that also, Dr. Lee?
I do. I actually started with parents when I first started. Oh gosh, over 20 years ago, I started with parents, and I do still have some children that I work with, but I'm trying to transition into just with adults. But from time to time, it comes up, and I'm really like probably could do just about anybody, but my focus is the Black family. So anybody who's in the Black family, that is my focus, and children included. Yes. Mm-hmm.
No problem. Lioness, you got anything to say, please? Sorry.
Yeah, I want to say thank you, Dr. Alicia. I wanted to know what's on your book list. So if you have any recommendations for us, books around relationships, and also things that you read, at your leisure. I know you love metaphysics and things like that. What are your favorite books?
Okay, let me, I'm going to go to my phone over here. I'm going to pull up my library so I can read them up. Okay, I absolutely love this book. It's about 25 hours. It is called The Miracle Power. Hold on, hopefully it won't. The Miracle Power of Your Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Yes, I have The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by him. That's the bigger one? Yeah.
It's 6 parts. Mm-hmm. It's like hours and hours. I listen to that on continuous. I like any books. Let's see what else. Let's see, a lot of How to Train Your Mind type of stuff. What else do I have? I don't really listen to a lot of fiction stuff. It's mostly nonfiction. A lot of couples therapy. It's a gentleman called Terry Real. Terry Real is a social worker like myself, and he was the very first person who wrote a book on men and depression. I recommend getting that book. It's called, the name of the book, I have it over here. It is called, I have so many books by him.
Depends on papers, family. Get papers.
Anyway, get Terry Real. Terry Real is good. He wrote a bunch of stuff. How Can I Get Through to You about men? It's called How Can I Get Through to You about men and depression. That's a great book. What else do I have? I have stuff on critical race theory and social work stuff. Oh, Sue Johnson. Sue Johnson is a good one. She does a lot of work on emotional work. Her book is called Hold Me Tight. So I love that book. That book is really good. Those are actually the books that are in my rotation. And I like a lot of course, I really love James Baldwin. All of James Baldwin's books I listen to. He's my favorite. What else? I do like this one book by Robert Greene, The 48 Laws of Power. I don't necessarily operate like that. I don't really use that so much. I just like it because I want to recognize when it's been done on me. So I don't like that. There's one last book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Just listen to that like once a year. That should be on your yearly rotation because it puts me in such a great space. So that's my last one. But I have a couple in my phone here that I listen to while I go on marathon runs. running and stuff. It's boring.
Do marathon runs together. I'm so proud. I seen y'all do one. I was watching y'all do it. And how was that run? How was that run together, you and Boyce, when y'all did that run?
Let me tell you, our relationship was tested on that run because I kept saying, if you don't put that phone down and get through this race, I'm going to take it. I'm going to throw it in Lake Michigan. If you do not get rid of that phone. He's like, I have to chronicle everything. And I was like, we got to finish this race. So it was funny because at the beginning, we were kind of all happy. And then mile 20, things kind of fell apart. And then by the end of the race, we were all snuggled up with each other and stuff. So it was enduring, but it was tough. And Boyce, he vowed that he would never ever do another marathon ever again. So
how long
it was very painful.
How long did that take? 20? You said 20 miles?
26.2 miles.
Okay. Did you run in New York? You didn't run New York, did you?
I would love to, but I did we did the Chicago Marathon, and I did Jack and Jill Marathon in Washington State, and it's downhill. So that was easy. Well, kind of easy. Too much of a good thing, but I did. So I've done 2 marathons, and I'm going to do another half next week in South Dakota.
I have a family member that runs marathon in New York. He's a doctor, Dr. Keith White. He runs a marathon. His wife just supports. She don't run it. The wife is my cousin. He's married in, but I call him my cousin. So he's been married to her so long. And I have a friend that was on radio, Sabrina Lamb. I don't know if you remember Sabrina Lamb, the radio host. She also runs the New York Marathon also, which is interesting. I've never ran it though. I'm a runner, but I never ran the marathon. I run to keep my lungs going. And but any questions before I go into my last question, Lioness J, please.
No, I think that covers it.
Well, I wanted to show a picture to her, and I want her to give me her thought as soon as she sees this picture, and tell me what was your thought and why this had to happen. This picture right here. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. That was, you know what? That was real snow. It was actually snowing. And I had this little tiny jacket on. And I was like, it is way too cold for this little jacket. That's real snow. That was not put on there by anything. Wow, that was real. I love that picture.
That was a long time coming because obviously I've been friends for years. What was, when you seen that picture, and what was your thought at that point, that moment right there? Because that was a very beautiful picture, man.
Oh, I love it. And I wanted to go outside to take some photos. And I don't know, you just don't know what they're going to shoot, what they're going to take. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's the picture we're going to use. I love that photo. I love the colors. And look at us. We're about to kiss. And not quite.
Also, Dr. Alicia, if it was really snowing outside, your hair was waterproof. I mean, it was weatherproof. I mean, your curl.
They took the picture really fast, but trust me, it was wet. Like my hair didn't survive much after that. That was the last thing we did on that photo shoot.
That's beautiful.
You pay all that money, get your hair done, and there it goes out the door.
Before we finish, what was that journey like to marry such a great brother that I've been watching for so many years? What was that journey like for you to marry?
Let me tell you, Boyce he's been my favorite friend ever since I've known him. Like I've been the one keeping track of him. So I knew Boyce when he was not Dr. Boyce. He was a PhD student. And mind you, I was 19 years old. I was in my second year in college, and he was a graduate student, but he was only 22 years old. And he was working on his PhD. It took him 9 years to get his PhD. So I remember I've met him. It was September. So maybe it was September of 1993, I want to say. So it's sometime this month. We have to make a trip down there. And, wow. And I instantly, like as soon as I saw him, I was like, that's my new friend. He's going to be my friend. And I kept the friendship going all of these years, because if it was left up to him, he just kind of like has his experience. He's somewhere and then he moves on to something else. But I kept up with him, and he never, and I knew him. I wasn't dating anybody. I didn't date anybody in college, but he always had a girlfriend around or whatever. So I never thought he was ever even remotely interested in me. And then we just stayed friends. Like I've been on vacation with him, with his girlfriend and my boyfriend. And we have just been buddies, believe it or not. And he's just been my favorite friend on CNN and everything. He is. And now that I've gotten to know him, this other side of him, he is more insatiable. He really is insatiable, very caring, very loving. He's different than he is online when he's like kind of harsh and all of that, but he is a gentle soul.
Of course. Well, you know, I'm honored to have you. I want everybody to put in the chat B1. Everybody put B1 in the chat. Everybody put B1 in the chat, family. We just had this is one of my greatest interviews for this year. I really, really enjoyed it. You have been immense, really healing for myself, and I'm sure for Lioness. And Lioness, you want to say anything to our dear doctor before she parts with us? I didn't want to keep her on but for an hour.
Yes, I want to say thank you, Dr. Alicia. I will be hitting you up. The wedding was beautiful. Y'all, yes. You got that newlywed glow on. It's just beautiful to be there with you all. I'm really grateful for the invitation, and also just everything. Like, you inspire me. Like, you're one of those Black women. I'm like, yep, I want to be like Dr. Alicia when I grow up.
Oh my God. Well, I'll be seeing you at the All Black National Convention. Are you coming down, right?
Ma'am, I'll be there.
Yay. So we get to hang out. I love hanging out with Lioness Crown.
When's it going to be so we can post it? When is it going to be? Where is it going to be held? What's the website?
It is the last weekend in October, and we are having a masquerade ball, by the way. So you got to come. It's going to be really well. It's the last weekend in October at the Omni Hotel in Orlando. And Brother Simon, I'll send you the flyer, so maybe you can put the flyer up. And we got we just got Queen Afua is coming. We just confirmed with her. I talked to her on the phone earlier today, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Queen Afua. So we're so happy. They're gonna be doing a panel on health. Good. What are some alternative ways for us to stay healthy so that we don't have viruses, dangerous viruses in our life. So she's going to be doing that, and that's super exciting. So we got a lot of good things happening with that convention. Of course, boys can probably talk about it better than I can. So,
do you have a website? Can you give me a website? I can put it up.
Do you have it? You probably have it.
allblacknationalconvention.com.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
National. Make sure I put it up there. National Convention, that's right, .com. Okay, convention.com. Okay, got it, .com. I'm gonna put it up right now. Let me make sure we got it up there. All Black National Convention.com. There it is, All Black National Convention. I'm gonna see if I can make it down there, because I'm usually in Florida around the end of October into November, but not more in Miami. But my cousin lives in Orlando, and he's a bounty hunter, so maybe he wants to come out. I gotta make sure he's all right. But I want to thank you very much, Empress Dr. Alicia, for coming on. Give a round of applause, family. B1. Everybody got B1 in the chat. Yeah, man. B1 is in the chat. B1 is in the chat.
Thank you for reaching out.
B1 is in the chat. B1 is in the chat. B1 is in the chat. B1. Everybody. I'm loving it. I feel like I'm on Boyce Watkins' show.
But he's gonna bring you on.
I'll tell him I would love to go through the numbers, because I'm dealing with it from a mental stability. Because matter of fact, you can send me your PO box, and I'll send you a book. I have no problem sending y'all a book.
For sure, I will. I shall.
I got a few of his books. I got the venereal disease one. That one was funny. I read that book, the one that the financial venereal disease that Boyce wrote. That book. I got that
book. Yeah.
That one. It was something else.
Threw me off. I was like, what?
That's the book he wrote, Financial Venereal Disease. But I have every book by Claude Anderson. I brought him in twice in New York with Bob Law. So I've worked with Claude many times. So big up to him, dear Claude. He just had a birthday too, September 1st. So happy belated birthday to him. Thank you very much, Dr. Alicia, man. This has been a very Good to hear that. I can't wait. We link up. Make sure, again, send me your P.O. box so I can send y'all a gift for my book, and make sure y'all get it. See if I can sign it for y'all and send it to you, okay?
Yes, please. That'd be so great. And thank you for having me. You two are great hosts. I really appreciate this. This is wonderful.
Thank you. Tell Dr. Boyce I send my greetings, okay? All right.
Okay, I'll tell him. He's over in the next room. I'll tell him.
Oh, he works.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, my goodness. That was great, family. That was great. That was great. That was great. Let's see. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? Wasn't that beautiful, sister?
Oh, it's always beautiful talking to Dr. Alicia Watkins. But yes, thank you for hosting this. The folks who are in the chat, they were saying that this was really healing. They needed to hear this. I see some of my folks from flynubianpower.com who are in the chat who tuned in. But yeah, I was taking notes. I was taking notes. I go back and rewind this video, but I definitely want to get the books on Dr. Alicia's book list.
Yes, it definitely. And matter of fact, since you wrote that, make sure you send it to me, and I'll probably post it so people can see it on my community section, so people can see it. And you know, but definitely, everybody support Dr. Alicia. She is a humble, beautiful soul. She is a Gemini soul, so she's born the 28th of May. That's believe me, my good friends. I got a lot of friends born under them Gemini energies, so, and them Aries energies and all that. So I was honored to have both of y'all on. I want to thank you very much, my sister, for coming on. Make sure y'all support our dear Lioness Crown on Fly Nubian Queen and all the stuff that she's doing. Hit her up on a IG. She does answer her IG when she needs to. And also, please share some Cash App love. Spread love to our dear sister on her Cash App that you see right here on the page. Beautiful Lioness, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. And I'll see you on Fly Nubian Queen in the Lioness Den soon again. Okay, we're going to talk.
And I'm going to see if I get down to Orlando because I'm going on my way down to Florida. Maybe I could stop over there and do that masquerade. I like that. I like masquerade. I used to throw masquerade parties. That was
cool. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Peace, peace. Give a round of applause, family. B1. Everybody put B1 in that chat for our sister. B1. That's right. Woo! Oh, this was a fly show. Want to thank everybody for coming on. Of course, I want to thank. Sorry, I had to broadcast them out of my phone. The computers just went haywire here. The only thing that's working is the applaud computer with the applause on it. And I want to big up a friend of mine's book, an astrologer. He just wrote his first book, and I want to big him up real quick. And I did promise that I was going to big it up. This book right here, this one is called The Beautiful Logic of Astrology. I met him at Lloyd Strayhorn. He does astrologic. His name is Lorenzo Sanford. So make sure you support his book on Amazon. It's called The Beautiful Logic of Astrology. And he's talking about your guide to understanding the fundamental language of the stars by a brother who spoke also at the Mystic Fair that we just had down there at the West End at Tassili. That was a very good. I spoke yesterday and I spoke today. Ra'aku spoke today. He spoke yesterday. Also, brother Lorenzo Sanford, Astrologics. Big up to him. He got a lot of great. He got his first book. His first book is on it's on Amazon, family. If you want the book, it's called The Beautiful Logic of Astrology. Astrologic by Lorenzo Sanford. That's Sanford. Brand new book on Amazon. This is his first astrology book. Very good. I've been looking through it already. Very good book. And of course, family, you know, if you want to get my books, you know, I'm on Amazon and Kindle. Check that out. You know the deal. That's me on Amazon and Kindle. You know how we working it. We are family. Make sure you get your books. And if you need to get it, if you need to go get it, make sure you, if you want to go get all my books, you can go through this link right here. Here's the link right here. This is the link that you can go to, Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That is me. If you want to get those books, all of my books. Also, don't forget this coming Wednesday, I got the infamous, the famous, the wonderful Copper Vibrations coming on. They got a big announcement to make. I welcome them back right here on Wednesday, September the 15th at 8 p.m. That's Copper Vibration. That's right. CQ and CK will be in, but they got something very, very great that they're going to announce, and I can't wait because it's going to be big. Don't forget on the 26th, family, boom, Billy Carson in the building on September the 26th with Blue Pill, Shaw Bates, Amber Hassan, and Sacred Secret. Big up to Sacred Secret and Tassili. They really host a great show. DJ Sanjetti was on it with me, and every vendor out there and all the people that spoke, all the speakers, Blue Pill spoke. Ra Cool was out there to speak, so big up to them. And I'm going to be here performing. So if y'all want to hear me in a reggae fashion, brother and sisters, you're going to get to hear Simon Anthony Brown Templar, or Simon Templar, a.k.a. Anthony Brown, a.k.a. King Simon, 90s reggae dance hall. Y'all heard my black and white story. You know I will drop it just like that. It's going to drop just like that to music. I'm going to have some fun. And that's happening on the 26th, right at this event with Billy Carson, my dear brother, Billy Carson. Also, if you are into beautiful podcasts, this is our beautiful sister, Dr. MJ, The Future of Health. Make sure you check out her podcast on Spotify and all the major networks. Make sure you check that out. Also, if you are a writer and you need an editing service for all authors and journalists and bloggers and more, make sure you hit up Susie's Script. She's a black woman, so just because y'all heard Susie now, don't get caught out there. Susie's Script, hit her up, Susies.scripts11@gmail.com, and her number is 914-361-9467. That's 914-361-9467. If you did enjoy this show, a lot of people were sending me super chat, but Super Chat is, I like people send Cash App. That's more helpful. And that's Cash App $King Simon 3158 or paypal.me/King Simon. If you're looking for realty throughout the East Coast, especially in the New York, Connecticut, and of course, New Jersey area, contact my dear sister here, the one, the only Camille Orta. Text or call her at 718-916-9128. That's 718-916-9128. Pedalwise, Dr. MJ again. If you want some great products from this beautiful site, make sure you hit up Pedalwise all the time. Show them some wise stuff. That's right. And if you want that 10% off discount coupon code, please go to their website, buy up some products, and put in this coupon code KING2021, and you will get some great products. Ladies, especially for fibroids and mental issues and all kinds of stuff. This sister does consultation also, and her name is Dr. MJ. This is the one I just showed you last time. This is her, and she has a podcast called The Future Health. Okay, so make sure check that out. And let's see, my brother Lloyd Strayhorn, big up to Lloyd Strayhorn. Make sure you support Lloyd. Lloyd is in the building. Make sure you go to his website, www.lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. Hit him up. Make sure you take his classes, get his books, all of that. That's one of my teachers. So make sure you support, show him some love. And though, if you want to take my course is up and running. So if you want my course, this is how you get to my course. Email me at thenumerovator@gmail. That's thenumerovator@gmail. And that's how you'll get to my course. Now, look, I got a waiting list, family. Since I did that Billy Carson show, I got a waiting list all the way into October, going towards November. Remember, first paid, first serve. I'm telling you right now. So make sure you text me your full name, date of birth, 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And if you live outside of the United States of America, please use WhatsApp. If you live outside of the United States, that means if you live in Canada, if you live in England, if you live in Europe, if you live in the Caribbean, please text me via WhatsApp. It's free, and you can pay via PayPal if you can't use Cash App. All right, just want to make sure y'all are cleared with that. And of course, I always have to close my show with this content disclaimer. Views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. All right, family, we're getting ready to close out. Once again, we want to give them a round of applause. Want to thank them, Sister Dr. Alicia for coming on, Watkins, Boyce Watkins' beautiful wife, and the one, the only Lioness Crown for coming in. Yeah, from Fly Nubian Queen, yes. Want to thank them for coming on. And I want to thank all of you for being here with me, of course. Even though I went through my technical difficulties, I want to thank all of you for being with me. We're going to try to straighten it up with this Wednesday as we bring on copper vibration. So we're going to try to straighten it up this Wednesday. So make sure everything is in line and in tune. If not, I'm going to have to change service up in here. You know, we're going to have to change service. I ain't playing with these people. So let me close out with one of my rhythms, one of my old reggae rhythms from back in the day. All right, this one is called Respect and Protect the Black Woman, but it's just the rhythm, it's just the music. So I'll be performing live, family. Lot of mercy, lot of mercy, lot of mercy, lot of mercy. The one, the only Simon Templar back on the stage, cause we got things going on. Simon Templar comes in nice up the line. Lot of mercy, lot of mercy, lot of mercy. This one is called Respect and Protect the Black Woman. Watch out. It's that respect, protect the black woman. That's the only reason. Okay, you ready? It's that respect, protect the black woman. That is my motto. If a man disrespect him, I go get beat down. If a man pimp a woman, place him 6 feet on the ground. But if a woman want to sell, don't let me start. Don't start me up. Don't start me up. Yo, I'm getting ready to get on out of here, family. I want to thank each and every one of y'all. I'm going to close out with the Dr. Blair player. I see y'all in there. I see y'all. I'm going to tear this place up. Remember, I will be performing live and opening up for Billy Carson. I'm opening up the show with Billy Carson. I'll be performing live on that day. Gotta respect, protect the black woman because they're the only means of reproduction. I want respect, protect the black woman because they're the only means of reproduction. Respect. I'm not gonna give you no more. Y'all ain't ready for it, family. When King Simon come out of retirement, it's over. I'm telling you, I'm turning up. I'm turning up. So I will be opening the show, one of the featured singers at the Altar Candy on September 26th with my brethren, Billy Carson. And we're going to drop some real tune from the people, them, you know, sister and brethren. You know, yeah, man, Jamaica ranting. Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy, say Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy. Me say, I know one away, I know two away, I know three away in a this year party, cause the whole away was say, Lord of mercy, cause the whole away was say. I'm gonna come with my whole reggae energy that day. I'm telling y'all now. So, all right, let me close out with prayer. Let me shut this down. Let me close out with prayer. Okay. Enough of the turn up. Enough of the turn up. Turn down for what? We turned up. We turned down for what? So make sure, yeah, man. Hey, Nikki Love, you done know, sister. You know what we got ready, all right? Enough respect. Like I said, I will be live and direct at the Altar Candy on September 26th in Atlanta, Georgia with Billy Carson. He's the featured speaker. And of course, the return of the dancehall Sing J, Don, King Simon in the building, gonna rock that place. All style reggae, and show people off it dance. I'm gonna pull one of the girls on the stage and show them off a reggae dance. I show them all a real Jamaican dance. You know, we don't dance far apart and all that. We love to do rubber dub. All right. So let me close out with this Dr. Blair prayer, family. I know I'm not crazy. We just got off with a doctor talking about relationship. I know I'm cray. I'm sorry. Oh man, I know. All right, so let's close out with this prayer. Everybody take a deep breath. Let's show honor to our late, great Dr. Blair, metaphysics teacher. And if you want to support his legacy, please go to his website. That's www.themetacenter2.com. That's www.themetacenter2.com for his books, Faraday Tech, protectors, diodes, magnets, all of that. Dr. Blair still has it. Tony and the whole crew is over there handling it. And all of us take a deep breath. Let's say the prayer. This is it. You can take a snapshot of it right now if you want to say it over and over again in your own. But this was a prayer Dr. Blair gave us. And it says, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Let's say it one more time. Jah lead to, this time in a universal manner. As we go, please, universal creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds and our spirits and our souls to receive only truth and your love now. Giving honor to the great Dr. Blair all the time, showing him love. Dr. Blair, may he rest in eternal peace. He's always teaching. Every time I dream about him, he's teaching. So enough respect to all of you. Thank all of you for tuning in. And please have a great evening. Once again, thank Dr. Alicia Watkins, and thank the one, the only Lioness Crown from Fly Nubian Queen, and of course, Lioness Crown on YouTube. So enough respect. Make sure you subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen and Lioness Crown on YouTube. All right, we're going to close out. Y'all be safe. Stay strong, stay focused, stay out of trouble. One love, one aim, one destiny. Up, you mighty nation. You could accomplish what you will. And like Dr. Khalid would say, regardless of land, label, or language, there is but one creative force. Take care. Peace.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.